All right, and we're live.
Fantastic. Good evening, everybody. Welcome once again to Snug Dungeons Incorporated, and our Dresden Files RPG campaign, Big Trouble and the Big Easy. As always, I'm Tim, playing Dev. Uh, to my side here is Tyler, playing Romain LeBeau. We are sadly without Austin Cash tonight, and Kyle is running us as ever. Just a quick thank you so much to everybody who's followed. We did hit 50 followers, so we qualify for affiliate status, and we are working on getting new intermission music for the Dungeons and Dragons streams. They're 4-hour streams, so they're a little bit longer. Intermission in the middle. We don't benefit from that here, but might actually get it added to the stream starting soon page or something like that. So yeah, thank you for all the support, and that just helps us do more for y'all, which is what the goal is here. But I think that's everything, so I will hand it off to Kyle. Take it away.
All right. Anyone who remembers, we started off last game with 3 whole cliffhangers, and we're going to try to resolve 2 of them today. We're going to start off with the person who is in, I'm going to say, the least danger. We're going to start with Tyler. Tyler is in the swamps where Boney Tony and Slender James were finally taken out after receiving premonitions and dreams about the fact that they were totally not gone, with a totally not stolen sequence of events that happened in his dreams. That was totally fresh, 100% from my head, not from anywhere else.
Yeah, it definitely didn't come from that one movie that we saw, The Exterminator. Potentially The Exterminator 2.
Exterminator 2 Judgment Day. And so, when we saw Romain, he was about to be attacked by a skeletal hand that just popped out of the ground. We're going to start with an athletics check just to see if you can avoid the initial skeleton hand attack.
Athletics check. It's going to be a +0. It's a 1.
There we go. +1. And let me go ahead and make my first roll tonight. We'll see what that looks like.
How does that hand have a +2 to athletics?
What do you mean the hand?
Yeah.
It's attached to something.
Oh, okay. I thought it was just the hand. I thought the hand had come out of the ground and was just like skittle along like the thing or
No.
From the Addams Family.
Hand grabs you just barely, and instead of trying to pull itself out of the ground or attack you in some kind of way, you are pulled into the earth.
Because of course.
Because of course. After only a couple seconds of traveling, and you had to hold your breath the entire way because whatever is trying to transport you here did not care about whether or not you could breathe. You find yourself in that old, scary graveyard from before.
Oh, you're talking about, you mean the
This time, no ritual. This time, no ritual. This time, no scary lightning storm, no doors in the mausoleums. This is a direct trip.
This place again. All right, where are you?
Lord Death appears from thin air, just to impress you just a little bit more. Now, remind us how Lord Death looked to you. This might be the first time anyone's seen Lord Death on the channel.
Yes, it will be.
It will be, yes. The villain from Disney's The Prince and the Frog, whose name I'm not remembering right now.
Dr. Lefortier.
That one.
All right. I forget that we had that little detail in here. Now, Lord Death appears each and every person as your personal embodiment of the idea of death. For Romain, that is the villain from The Princess and the Frog, and there's no shame in that. So,
all right, so
I was looking to speak to you.
Well, it's not like I can go anywhere. You did kind of drag me here.
You're not going to give us I was looking to speak with you.
Well, it's not exactly the way that guy's voice would have sounded, but we can try it. No. Where was I? I got distracted for a half second there. All that comedy. So,
Well, what would you like
I
to...
have a feeling you're in danger. There's a reason I sent those dreams.
Wait, you sent those dreams?
Yes. You may not claim it, but you are one of my servants in the mortal world.
Wait. What do you mean one of your servants in the mortal world?
You are...
not done anything for you.
You haven't? You haven't moved a spirit on from the mortal coil to its proper place in the afterlife, acting as a psychopomp? You haven't helped usher the undead towards a final resting place?
I mean, I guess...
You
yes,
don't
I
preserve
have.
life every single day?
I thought
I
you
have
were all about
schedules.
killing things, though.
No, I'm about the proper cycle of life and death. The good and the bad. Things can't live forever. Well, many things can't. Without people and myself, the world will be overrun with sickness and disease and problems. The only thing I'm trying to do is to end that cycle. And you, yourself, have done the same. So, you are a servant of mine on the mortal coil. I don't need praise. I'm death. They'll always come in the end. But it's appreciated while you're still kicking up there. Now, the things I hate most in the world are on your front door. Figuratively. The Black Court of Vampires. I believe you're familiar.
Yes, but didn't one of them just drag me here?
No, that was me. I don't know if I could be more obvious with a skeleton hand.
Sorry, you just... it looked an awful lot like... I don't know, are you familiar with Boney Tony? Slender James? They're Black Court vampires. They look a lot like skeletons. I thought this was one of them.
Yes. They're undead. That's the problem. They're not going away with a simple sunlight spell. I just want you to realize that. And with your friend, Austin, poking around where he is, you're not going to have it be any easier.
What do you mean poking around where he is?
Well, with the information I have, I know for a fact that if he continues going down the path he's going to run across several of the minions of the undead. In general. Along with the Black Court of Vampires. And, if I'm going to be a little bit, give away too much to you, you guys are going to run across all manner of abominations upon the life cycle.
Are you talking about the path he's going down with the Spider Bro? Because I don't think we can stop him on that one. That's a little bit beyond my reach.
Yes, that too. There are so many things guiding you towards darkness. One of which, yes, is Austin's new patron. But his background is not going to help him either. The more he seeks into that, the more confusing it's going to be. And we're going to pause on you now, with that little bit of insight, and we're going to move on to Dev's storyline. Now, Dev, as we all remember, faded to black as he went to go hang out with Wynn. We can go ahead and let Dev decide what happens there. How did you spend your last hour and a half since Tyler's been dragged under the graves?
Was definitely hitting on her.
Yeah,
I don't know.
that's true.
You said reasonably receptive
to
it.
Well, if that's what you're saying, that is going to be what happened. You guys wake up from one glorious hour-long affair, and you guys have some pillow talk. Some of the pretty classic pillow talk. How are you? How you been? I've been thinking about those people you said you've lost all that time, and I have a solution. Who are your parents? You know, just your classic questions.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally, 100%.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah,
That's what I talk about. You know, the friends that I've lost along the way that have fallen into darkness and despair. That's
yes. I mean, that's who doesn't do that.
right. I mean, it
Anyway,
makes me all the time, Kyle.
that's a fact. I mean, it's true. It's sad. Anyway, so she mentions. We probably should do this in character, I guess.
All right.
So anyway, I was thinking, your friends, they aren't showing up when you do a tracking spell. That's why you can't get a hold of them, right?
That's right.
What if? Sorry. What if it's because they're not on this plane? You wouldn't be able to track somebody if they're in the Nevernever, for instance.
That would potentially make sense. I mean, I've never done a lot as far as tracking. Most of my rituals have to do with wards, but would they be showing up as existing without getting a good read?
Yeah, I mean, that'd be how it would work, pretty much. It would point you towards something, trying to give you the information. But if they're on another vibration of like reality, it'll be hard to focus on them and find them.
See.
Well, and if you're receptive to the idea, I do actually know a way to get there, because I'm pretty sure you guys aren't world traveling globetrotters through the Nevernever.
No, decidedly not.
One caveat: it does lead through my aunt's Demesnes. Demesnes? Demesnes. Demesne? Yeah. It does roam through my aunt's Demesne.
Your aunt?
My mother's sister.
And I'm going to take it based on the way that's a caveat and not a benefit. That's not the best of relationships.
It's not a bad relationship. It's just I didn't get my beautiful singing voice from my mom and dad.
I was right. She's part Fae.
I understand. Not wanting to introduce me to the family so quick. That's
Well, Dad, you're cute, but you're a little young for me.
It happens.
Either way, I think we can get in and out at least enough to check out a small section of the area just to do the spell, figure out if we can get a read on them, and then come back. Safe and sound, no problem.
That would be fantastic, and we can actually narrow down if they're, or hopefully narrow down that they're in the Nevernever or not.
If you're receptive, she goes down over to her living room, pulls up a little false bottom floor into a little basement of her apartment.
All right, I will head down into the upper apartment's basement.
Yeah,
did I say it was an upper apartment?
She does live on the second floor.
She lives over.
Screw it. Magic. Okay, fine. It's an attic. Magical attic. I just like basement better, I guess. I don't know. So inside of this magical attic, there is a series of instruments you've seen, all dated around to the tattoo needle she carried around, the hand tattoos.
Yep.
All that stuff kind of keeping of a similar design, similar kind of rough metals rather than ultra refined things. Obviously something from before, molds and casts and things were frequently in use. She works a lot of magic by chanting and speaking in a language that you probably would identify as Gaelic. Speaking out loud. Finally, a tear appears between what is very obviously a doorway, something intended to be a doorway, into what was before like a brick wall, now split open into what is a very spooky part of the Nevernever. As you look inside, dead trees, haunting backgrounds. It looks as though nothing's seen light inside of this realm in ever. And from a far distance, you hear an unearthly wailing, a moaning, and something you might consider called a keening.
Yeah. Oh.
Is she related to a banshee?
Yes. That is the.
That is the implication. Yes.
I mean, that's been the implication the whole time.
Yeah, like, I've not been shy about that one. In all honesty.
Well,
Uh,
I might be a little thick.
You're not Austin, so you're all set.
yeah.
He's not here to defend himself. It's not fair.
Cheap shots.
Okay.
The guy who's not around.
I'll be the Austin stand-in.
The Austin stand-in. Okay. We see Colin in the chat. Colin says, "Hey,
Yeah.
I am here."
Yeah, but you're not here.
There's a black screen right there that says otherwise.
There we go. That's right. If you're not playing, you're not here. It's a fact.
But well, looks like
After you.
Lovely landscape. I will head on in.
When you enter in, the air temperature gets noticeably colder by about 25 degrees. You went from like a nice 60-degree evening into what is now a very cold day.
Mm-hmm.
The wind whips around you a lot harder than you thought it would. It is actually ridiculously hard for you to even just stand there as the ground shifts underneath your feet. The Nevernever is not a safe place, and it is definitely something you got to keep your wits about you, lest you get lost or driven mad by all the crazy things in there. The first thing you'll have to do is go ahead and give me a discipline check.
That's a 3.
Good. You resist the urge pulling you towards the dilapidated castle in the background. You hear more babyish sounds of fear in the background. Yeah, you're not pulled towards the castle, but you do feel the urge washing over you. But as a wizard in your own, mortal practitioner in your own right, you notice the magical effects happening here.
I see. I take it that's your aunt?
That is my aunt. I'm actually pretty impressed you were still here. Most people take off running when they get here. One way or the other, one direction or the other, either far away as possible or towards the castle.
I mean, what can
Either
I say?
way.
I'm pretty impressive.
That's pretty true. She goes ahead and sets up her little spell, kicking dirt into the ground, using nothing more than her her hands to actually form the spell itself. She builds a 3-dimensional model with nothing but illusion magic. She tries to pinpoint a dot, and she turns to you and says, Nevernever, as you understand, is really hard to pin down. The best way we could even conceive of a map is like a 3-dimensional object. It's just the best way we can do about it. It's not covering everything that's here. I just don't know how to represent that in a way that would actually help us.
I see.
So, she forms this little, it's not exactly a cube, it's more of a blob shape that is definitely 3-dimensional and see-through a little bit like a hologram. She starts the spell, and it starts to lead off in a direction that is down the pathway outside of her aunt,
Okay.
and actually pretty close by. Pinpoint accuracy is not exact in the Nevernever, but this is as close to a GPS you can get.
All right.
It pays to have someone on the inside.
In for a penny, in for a pound. Glad I always carry a little bit of that. It's kind of morbid, but I always carry a little bit of that hair that we got from his house.
It's a beautiful thing. It's really true.
Yeah.
That's friendship for you. You always carry a small piece of hair.
Yep. Hey, you never know when you're gonna have to try and perform an impromptu tracking spell.
Exactly. I mean, if you don't have it, you're not prepared. We're gonna go ahead and pause your story again, and we're gonna move back over to Lord Death and his servant.
in reference to that, why have neither of y'all asked me for my hair?
That's a good question.
Anyway, back on Lord Death.
So, Lord Death.
You're not
All
missing, are you?
Okay, come on.
I mean,
Jeez,
straight
Tyler.
up, why haven't you asked for our hair? I can't perform a tracking spell. Austin can't perform a tracking spell. You're the only one who can do it.
No, see, this is not how that works.
Because I don't have to ask.
I don't have to ask. I don't like that implication at all. That's super weird.
That came out a little creepier than I intended, but we're gonna roll with it.
A little, a lot, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so
Okay.
back in the spooky graveyard.
Back in the spooky graveyard, Lord Death had just told you that you are going to run into a whole lot more of the undead. And I would like to offer you help.
The Lord of Death is offering me help.
I offer you instruction in the ways of animancy.
What is animancy?
I believe you would call it necromancy.
So, you see, about that, if I were to accept your offer, that might mean that we would have a very soon third meeting, a very quick third meeting. If you catch my drift, the White Council doesn't exactly take kindly to necromancers.
They don't take kindly to dark magic being used on humans to extend their lifetimes or to animate their corpses beyond all recognition. But they don't frown upon the killing of the undead and using of magic to stop them. It'll be questionable. You'll have to defend yourself. But you're in a bad place. I'm telling you now. Without any other interactions, if you went in to live in your home and do nothing else, Bony Tony and Slender James are still going to come after you. As powerful as you are, you did not wipe out 2 Black Court elders.
I was really hoping we had. All right, and are there any strings attached to this help that you're offering, this assistance, this guidance?
Keep doing what you're doing. Everything you're doing in the world serves me just fine.
All right, well, I guess you got yourself a deal.
He holds up his hand, it becomes skeletal, just so it's the real hand. And he grabs yours and shakes it. Then he says, well, you're going to have to actually take the first lesson. He reaches into his mouth, like opens it, distended like a snake, reaches in, and grabs a little mote of death. This is death. He gives a speech that everyone recognizes from the book, but of course, is the actual first lesson of necromancy, is how it works. You have to take death inside of you. Humans love death. Humans appreciate death. You take care of your hair and your fingernails. These are all dead parts of you. And you love them, like a part of you. Death is a natural part of life, and you need to come to understand it. Now, you need to first feel and understand death. This changes from the book's lesson because Evil Bob was trying to kill Harry there. I will give everyone a spoiler, just in case anyone's aware. Lord Death is not trying to get you killed immediately. So he wants you to understand and learn to manipulate death.
Wait, I have to feel and understand? I have to die?
No, you don't have to die. That's what I'm trying to say. In the book series, Harry was about to be killed. You are not trying to be killed, so he's not asking you to eat pieces of death.
As a player, I know. As a character, I am.
Okay, good. Okay,
yeah.
Now I'm understood. No, I am not asking you to consume death. You need to be alive. Because that's how I prefer people who move around to be.
Makes sense.
He holds the piece into a small locket and hands it to you. It actually just appears into his hand, all kind of cool stuff, because Death is being super show-offy right now. What can I say? Death is a
Bit of a showman.
just a fancy guy. Yeah, you know. Well, I think it's his personality. You came out with Dr. Facilier, and that's just how he is.
He is very showman-y, yes.
He hands you the locket and tells you to think on it. If you actually need your first real last set of instruction, all you need to do is open the locket. If you refuse, just put the locket into a safe, never look at it again, and leave it alone. Should be no problem if you're really not interested.
I will certainly think about it.
All right.
Put the locket around my neck. Now, how do I get out of here? I guess first I should ask, anything else I should know about?
Yes. There is more you should know about this. The reason I got you right now is because you weren't wrong. You were about to be attacked by Bony Tony. Right now, in the swamps. And when I put you back, where you were, you'll have to fight him off again. I need to know that you can do this. Do you believe you can fight them off?
I don't know. The last two times we fought, I had a lot of help. First we had Victor. Victor fucking whew. And then the only reason I was able to drop a sun on him was, we spent so long running around the woods from him. But now I'm literally in his clutches. I don't know if I'd had time to prepare. Maybe. You know what? Yes.
So what are you asking? You need time to prepare, more strength. What is it that will help you defeat these people?
I don't suppose you've got any holy water hidden in your suit? Up on your top hat?
A bit of distaste, a little distasteful look. No, I don't carry holy water on me.
Outside of that, I guess time to prepare.
Okay. Well, just in case, here's a little help. What you might want to start with is consecrating the ground around you. It helps you against the undead because they cannot make their actions as easily. In game terms, by the way, if you consecrate ground underneath holy people, they do all their actions at a -1, which is pretty handy. More than that, if you do indeed want my help and to learn animancy, you'd be able to freeze them at where they stand. They couldn't make a motion against you because, well, animancy controls the bodies of the undead. Them being undead, it would make these fights trivial almost.
That
anyway,
makes a lot of sense.
Death disappears. And with that, you are...
Wait, how do I get out of here?
With that, you are pulled way back into the sky, or back into the ground and up. It's weird. The Nevernever is crazy. It's a crazy place.
I'm pulled into the ground again.
You're pulled into the ground again and then shot back up like it's a cartoon. Welcome back to the swamps. And with that, Bony Tony pulls himself out of the ground. Seething hatred, all of his jokey mannerisms gone, just staring at you right in the face. That hurt. And before your combat starts, we're going to see if we can't find our friend Brad.
Thank you. I need some time to think about what I'm going to do in this fight.
All right. That's where we're doing the split screen today, folks. All right. As you guys travel to the Nevernever, you go through what are increasingly more and more creepy and spooky places, which is bad because you started off in a Banshee's mean.
I'll say that. I didn't realize it could go downhill from there.
It actually can. There are more intentionally malevolent creatures out here with worse places to call home.
Yeah.
You narrowly avoid fights with a few spiders due to a little bit of veil work. You were able to avoid a small international matter as you walked into a very small part of Goblin Kingdom due to the fast-talking ways of Dev. And finally, you find yourself at the base of a giant tree. This tree is sitting on a hill. The silhouette of the background of against a giant moon in the sky. The tree is full of life. A strange look for this place. All the trees you've seen since you got here have been dead and barren, but this tree is filled with life. It's green, and actually the green stands out in the night scenery as though it were lit up by itself. Around this tree, you see hundreds of people, all laying out, stretched what looks to be a rested position. All of them, some people leaning up against the base of the tree, some people laid up in the grass around it. Each and every one of them, as you get closer, you realize are unconscious, maybe asleep, but not dead. They still show signs of life and everything. As you look at the bodies themselves, you see that they're from all different time periods in history. You know, they're from all different time periods in history. You have people who are in pretty classic American year from the very modern year of 2001, yep. And the ancient historical times of like ancient Rome. You've got going as far back as you can possibly think of. Mm-hmm. Some of the earliest people sitting up the very stump of the tree are wearing
stump or trunk?
Sorry, trunk.
Okay, stump. I just wanted to make sure I hadn't misinterpreted that.
Correct. No, you're right. You're right. Based around the trunk of the tree, the earliest people there are wearing. I'm trying to remember what I had here. All right, yeah, they're just wearing very basic, simple like one layer clothing like draped over the front. As you keep following the spell, you find yourself across Brad. Brad is alone. He is not with any of the other firebugs. You looked around, but Brad is asleep.
Okay.
As you look at him, he seems to be possibly 10 years older. Something in the Nevernever aged him, or the Nevernever itself.
Time is weird.
Time is weirder than Nevernever.
Or can be. So, Gwen, do you have any idea what this place is?
Yeah, I do have an idea of what this place is. So, I'm pretty sure you've heard these stories before. There once was an old man who went to a party in the woods with the fairies, and then fell asleep for 100 years.
Mm.
This is that part of fairy.
I see.
Or well, it's connected. If we approach the tree from the other side, it might look a little bit better. This is just my end of the town. This is a pretty central location in our part of fairy. But also, we should probably hurry up, because if we don't move quickly, you might fall asleep. And for that matter, let's do our second discipline check. This one will be stronger than the last one. And you pass it. Perfect.
And that's solid 4.
A solid 4. In fact, I'm pretty surprised you haven't fallen asleep by now anyway.
Like I said, I'm pretty impressive.
I'm coming to understand it. The two of you start to work quickly on trying to wake Brad up, but nothing like you have. If you try anything physical, it still wouldn't wake him up. It depends on how much you're willing to
give him a little.
Give him the old Captain Kirk slap.
Yeah.
Get a hold of yourself, man.
Man. Yes.
Yeah, that's the one. That does not work. Brad is still asleep in a magical enchantment of sleep.
Okay. I assume if we remove him from the area, that's not going to wake him up, will it? Hey, that's directed at Gwen.
So I can't be sure. Most of these stories are people waking up after their timers have hit.
I see. Well. Okay. I've got an idea, but I don't think this is the right place to do it. Do you think we can get him out of here and back to, or out of the Nevernever?
I think so, but we have to go. We have to go back out where I can get in.
Yeah, of course.
All right. So, which one of you two tries to carry him over your shoulder in a fireman's carry?
Oh no, I'm dragging him.
You're dragging him. All right. We will go ahead and make a might check just to see how quickly it goes. Because we want to make sure we don't have to do another discipline check for you.
Yeah, I gotcha. That.
Oh.
Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and tag my friend's shield aspect
There you go.
with a fate point. Yeah, it's. You know what? I'm dropping 3. I'm dropping the wrong crowd trouble, my friend's shield, and cool under pressure. Brings me up to a 4.
A +4. You are able to drag him away from the tree without succumbing to the effects of the tree's magical spell. Or is it the tree? I don't know. It might be the tree.
Whatever's going on there.
Whatever's going on there. There's probably some malicious entity around there somewhere. Who knows?
Yeah.
You're able to pull him away from the effects of the tree long enough that you can drag him across the ways of fairy.
Mm-hmm.
All of these lovely little things that you encountered before are going to show up again. So first, we're going to encounter the goblins. The goblins come up to you, and they speak in their dumb little goblin language that Gwen translates out for you.
Mm-hmm.
They want a second tribute. We paid first time, and now we have to pay the second time coming back. Do you have another happy memory?
I'm sure I do. Just trying to figure out what
Well,
it is. Yeah.
Just don't forget you lose it forever.
Mm-hmm.
Just pick one of the ones from your childhood, I guess.
Yeah.
Who needs one of those? The two you pay your fine and move on. The goblins steal your memories and keep them for themselves. Whatever goblins do with them.
See, the thing is, he never had a child. He was born fully formed to a she-wolf.
Well, that's actually true now. We keep on going forward. We have another encounter with some nasty baddies. We're gonna go ahead and do a quick motion, a quick little bit of combat for you. Spider comes down. Gwen decides to make it incredibly unlucky, and it trips on its own feet. Deb decides to keep it from moving by blocking its movement, and then Gwen decides to stomp on it. Spider dead in 2 moves, quicker than a chess game.
Walls of Force, very convenient.
They are very handy, and I thought instead of having everyone roll this 15 times and make this 10 minutes long, I thought I'd just tell you how it went down.
Appreciated.
There we go. Because we got the longest part of your thing is coming up next. Yeah. As you enter back in to Gwen's aunt's domain, which you'll get a name for in a second, so don't worry about that that long series of possessives. Gwen's head cocks funnily, like she's heard a noise in the distance, which is weird because, yes, you do hear noises in the distance, but it's like it was different than all this wailing and screaming. Something intelligible. She turns to you and says, "We have been invited as guests to meet my aunt."
Going to go out on a limb and guess that declining that invitation would be a bad idea.
It would be very rude, and she might take it personally.
Well, the last thing I want is for to get off on the wrong foot with your family, so I would love to meet your aunt.
Great. The two of you drag the body behind you towards the castle in the center. When you look, you're getting very Fall of the House of Usher vibes. This is a castle that is still standing, but it does indeed look very worn down. Everything is spooky, scary, and there is like a noticeable breeze running through the entire castle as you come in. The door opens by itself. No creepy butler, no spooky creaks or anything. Just opens up by will of the host itself. And you guys enter into a giant front room. You can look in and see a staircase that leads up and then a balcony over top. As you go further through, you'd see a kind of grand hall where they would be receiving guests if this wasn't a spooky castle in Nevernever. And both to your right and to your left are other rooms that you'd know more about if you could travel through them. But your host stands at the base of the stairs. The woman looks, to be very blunt, she looks drowned. In an outfit that is tattered as though it had been dashed on the rocks several times over. Skin both filled to the brim with that dead, decayed water and the color of, like, pavement. Her eyes glassed over, obviously waterlogged as well. Mm-hmm. She smiles, and you can see the rot in her teeth. Not a natural plaque-made rot. This is, of course, from, the years of death. She smiles and welcomes you into her house. Her name is Molly. Molly McLeod.
All right.
And we're going to pause and move back to the fight.
All right. I'd like to start off by spending a fate point to give Bony Tony the burned husk
aspect.
Yeah, that sounds right. And actually, don't spend. Are you going to exploit it or?
Oh, does he already have that? I was going to spend it to give it to him.
No, he's definitely got that.
Okay.
Don't you worry about that. You get it for free for using the sun and dropping it on his face.
Okay.
You feel like you use a fate point to activate it, though. That's the good stuff.
I would like to attempt to talk to him while charging a spell. Can I do that?
It's up to your ability. It's going to be rapport.
Okay.
You don't have to beat him. You just have to make a positive score for him to remain interested in talking to you.
Okay. Now, Tony. Tony, let's not be hasty here. We don't want to cause another scene.
You go and roll your report. I did say positive.
You did say positive.
All right. I'll put it up to you guys since I probably should have put 0 on the board, but I wasn't thinking about it.
Well, I view 0 as a non-positive, so what I'm going to do is spend a point.
There we go.
To just give it a +1. I don't really have anything to tag currently.
Okay, I mean that's allowed.
You're not the talker of the group to.
Unfortunately, yes, I did separate you from the talker.
Mm-hmm. I do have some points statted here, just not nearly as many as Dev does.
Okay, so he'll respond. He's receptive to continue at least speaking with you.
Okay. So now do I roll for the spell?
Yes, let's go ahead and do that as well.
I'm focusing on the tiger spell that we've got set at 13, the one with inhuman power and human speed.
Don't forget, you are still drained from doing the big giant spell. You took a lot of mental damage on that one. So you are going to be casting from an overkill position. Every single one of these is going to affect both your mental and physical stats.
Okay. How does that affect them?
Whenever you take a regular point of mental stress, you're going to take a physical one too.
Okay. Gotcha.
And you're gonna gain 1 mental stress every round you try to run this. So you're gonna need to run this spell really fast.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this is a 13 power spell that we've got set up. So, actually, if that's the case, I would like to attempt to, instead of focusing on a spell while I'm talking to him, I'm drawing on my pad, drawing an iceberg with Tony encased in it.
Sounds good. What are you drawing over there? I don't trust you, mages.
Oh, I'm drawing a picture of you.
Really?
Yeah, I show him the part where it's just Tony. I haven't drawn the iceberg yet.
I can't exactly say it's a perfect likeness. But it's good enough.
I believe my performance says says whether it's a likeness or not. There's a 4 on
Well, that's certainly true, but that's not what he wants to give you.
Okay, fair.
All right, give me one reason why I don't kill you here and now. You told me to wait. So I'm waiting.
You don't want me right now. I'm all tired. I wouldn't give you a lot of energy. Yeah, I'm kind of dehydrated, so, my blood's not really running all that well.
Oh, don't worry. This is personal.
Personal? What do you have against me personally? I was just defending myself.
I don't think I have to be reasonable about this. You tried to burn me alive.
You're not really alive, though, are you?
That is true. I guess that's a great point. Either way, you did kill my friend, and I cannot find him anymore. So, I'm going to kill you.
But I have it on good authority he's still alive.
Report check, by the way. You only get so much back and forth.
That's a 3 on that one.
There we go. Much better.
Where am I at on the drawing and the spell?
You are now capable of finishing up the actual drawing portion with the iceberg, since you split it up intentionally to make sure he didn't realize what you're doing. This will be this round is that, and you can start powering up the spell if you'd like.
Gotcha.
What are we thinking about for power levels of this spell?
I'm just looking to encase him so he doesn't move.
So it's going to be a block against movement, and you're going to try to tell me how much power you're trying to put into the block.
So I would like to put enough to block Victor before his transformation.
Oh, okay.
Which I think is a 4, or is it a 5?
For might.
So it depends on what maybe might. Yeah, it'll also depend on whether or not you want to definitely for sure make sure he can't get out, or just enough to probably cover your bases.
50% just enough to get the fuck out of there. I'm not looking to fight this fight.
Okay.
That would effectively be 7 because it's 4 might plus 3 for inhuman strengths, smashing and breaking.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
7. All right. So a 7 blocking his movement, I guess.
A 7 block against movement. That's going to require, of course, 7 points plus your initial 1 point for the summon.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to need 8 total. And don't forget all the damage you're going to be taking due to the reckless nature of your last spell cast.
Yep. All right. Well, that's a 6. And what is
all right. Let's roll for control.
Yeah, I needed to look at my discipline because I forgot what it was.
Roll for control.
And a 5.
All right. You're 6 and 5. Hopefully next round you got this. Take your damage, both mental and physical.
Yeah, I will tick my 1 box on both of those.
All right, and let's see if this. All right, so you're right. We stalled Bony Tony one more round.
Mm-hmm. Where were we with
Sorry.
this conversation again?
I forget. Hold on. He had just said he was going to kill you. Oh yes. So I'm just going to kill you, and he starts making motions towards you.
Whoa.
You notice that you do notice that he's not moving at supersonic speeds. He comes at you at a regular speed, as though he might not be able to do that right now.
I'm going to keep backing up. Try and keep the distance the same, although I am backing up, so he probably is closing a little bit.
Backing up, concentrating on a spell, all these different things going on.
Well,
And
hold on.
talking.
I have it on good authority.
And talking.
I have it on good authority that James is not re-dead. Yeah, let's go with re-dead. Does that work for you, re-dead?
That's not the important part. James is alive.
I mean, I think we've covered he's not actually alive, but
Yes. Still kicking. Still around.
yeah, sure. Let's go with that one. Yeah, I have it on good authority that
What's your authority?
he's still around. Yes.
Well, what's your authority?
You seen the? Actually, that movie hasn't come out yet, has it? How to explain this? How to explain this? How to explain this? He looked like an old.
Are you still
man.
backing up?
Is he still
Are you
coming
still
at
backing
me?
up?
Or has
Yes.
he stopped?
No.
Then I'm still backing up.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me a luck check. Backing up in the swamps
That's a 0.
while not looking and focusing on another conversation and trying to draw and cast a
Yeah.
spell. You do indeed fall over on your ass. I'm sorry about that one. Well, actually, no. Give me an athletics check with a -1. Might as well give you a chance to correct your footing.
Yeah.
Never mind. You fall on your ass. Unless you're going to spend more fate points.
I'm actually thinking about spending more fate points here.
How many do you have?
This
seems like a lot of fate
start each
points.
session with 3.
Okay. Just saving them up for something. Some gift from Lord Death.
I just don't know what to spend them on. So.
All right.
Well,
So I believe last time you spent 1, so you still have 2 to go.
yes, I currently have 1. If I spend 1 here, shit. I'm gonna tag not what I seem.
Okay.
Not what they seem. I'm a little sprier than people originally thought.
Okay. That'll get you up to 0, but it doesn't get you. It doesn't keep you on your feet.
Fuck. You know what? I'll spend a second one just to bring me positive. Bring me up to a.
There
1.
we go. You're up to a 1. You finish off the round. Third round starts now. Give me a report check.
It's a 1.
We'll see we'll give it a roll. Let's flat roll. Who knows?
Okay.
There we go. You stalled him one more round. He's not going to outright attack you this exact second.
All right. Are we doing the final cast now, or are we doing the final?
Final cast is right now.
All right. That's a 3 for a total of 9, putting us above what we need.
Plenty of power. Plenty of power for the spell. And let's see if you can control it.
And that's a 3, so I'm 1. I'm 1 below.
You're 1 below. So your choice. You are welcome to cast the spell now and deal with the fallout or backlash, or you can see if you can hold out for 1 more round.
So if I were to cast now, I would be taking 2 points of mental stress, 1 for the charging, and 1 for the backlash.
And yes, they'd be separate points of stress. Yes.
They would be separate.
Unless you did Fallout, right?
Unless you did fallout.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying not to fall out in the swamp again. Considering that went.
Especially not right here.
Yeah.
If they were combined, I would take that, but separate is oof. All right, we'll have to fall it out then. We'll have to do 1 point fallout because I'm having to take this physical stress as a
consequence.
As a consequence, I will take my $2 for the mental stress and then physical consequence.
All right, the spell goes off. Bony Tony is about to run at you, full speed. Done with your nonsense. But in a bit of luck and, of course, skill on your part, you enact your spell, freezing him in ice immediately. Unfortunately, to let the spell go off and the intense change in temperatures caused a small amount of fire to light around the iceberg itself in a ring, snapping off in the end with a spark, hitting one of the trees, which is now on fire. Just,
Because of fucking course it is.
And because the area was dried out beforehand, the fire actually goes very quickly and starts to spread. It would be wise for you to get going.
Yeah, I would like to deal with this fire, but I think it might be in my best interest to just dipset.
All right. The good necromancer and now arsonist of New Orleans dips out of the woods. The swamps, well, they're hardly swamps at this point.
Jesus Christ. I just got one group of friends to stop setting random fires, and now
and a
this
new one comes in.
Okay.
All right. Oh, no, you hear a baby being very sad and wanting a lollipop. So give me 1 second. Very good. We're going to go ahead and give you a nice pause as you get back to town. We'll deal with you in a minute. Let's do some bits of polite courtesy in old school fairy world.
On the way back to town, I call 911 and tell them the swamp's on fire.
We'll deal with the phone call in a second, but yeah, you do. All right. Inside of the castle, you are invited to sit down for a meal, as it is just dinner time, as you can obviously tell from looking outside.
Yes. Who doesn't eat in the middle of a dreary night?
Who wouldn't? All the food you see is, of course, rotted and old. She's proud to tell you that it's actual, real human food from the mortal realm. So, no worry about fairy tricks here. But yes, the food is rancid.
Give Gwen a side eye. Like, is that legit? Is it?
She looks back and gives you a look that says, well, she doesn't give you a look. She just tells you, it looks real to me, but I mean, I wouldn't eat it. We just had a big meal. We'll be fine. Thank you for your hospitality. Please, come sit. Let's have a chat. She sits herself up at the head of the table, gesturing to the two other seats that are placed.
All right, I won't take the lead, but if Gwen sits down, I too will.
Gwen says very particularly, "Take a seat." No, of course, only to borrow. And then she sits down, gesturing that it's safe for you to sit down.
I will do so. A lovely home you have, Miss McClue.
Thank you. It's been in the family for generations.
I see.
Now, what brings you to my realm?
Well, in all truth, as there's little else to be given, we were passing through. A friend of mine was lost in the Nevernever, and Gwyn was assisting me in finding him.
Where did you find him? I notice he's not well.
Decidedly not. It was over past the spiders, then the goblins. I gave them something to get past. I don't really remember what. But,
You wouldn't.
But yes, past that.
Yes. The sleeping tree. So he's under the spell then.
I would assume so, because that is the happy memory that I gave up. The moment of joy at finding Brad.
Whoa! Crafty! Alright, neat. You get one memory, spend it right away. It's good stuff.
Yeah, in and out, in and out.
Good stuff right there.
Yeah,
All right.
that memory did not have time to collect interest.
No.
Nope, not even gonna.
But it makes sense though, because that would be the happy memory that is at the forefront of my mind.
That's also true.
Like, yeah, it's shit. Another happy memory. Kind of consumed with this one right now.
That makes sense.
So, yes, that sounds like it could be the answer.
She turns to Gwen. She turns to Gwen. Is this what happened? Yes. And he's traded his memory away for safe passage from the goblins. Molly says, of course. I could, of course, revive him. Many people have been stopped by the tree, and I've been able to bring them back before. Of course, would cost you something. Something of equal value to your friend's life.
Well, I greatly appreciate the offer, Ms. McClue. To be perfectly frank, I don't know that I have anything to offer that is worth my friend's life.
Wise words. Gwen is, again, impressed with you. This is like the third time in like an hour, so she's just like, who is this guy? Jesus Christ, where is he been hiding like this entire time?
Like 3 streets over, that big-ass house.
What have you been doing this whole time? Giving tattoos? Like a fool? That is true. Then I'll tell you, then perhaps you should trade for what I value his life to be. I think a simple act of service should be good enough. No? One service for another?
Well, I understand the concept, Ms. McClue, and once again do greatly appreciate the offer. It would be unfair to you for me to give up something of greater value than you do. And as I don't have anything that is worth, in my estimation, this man's life, I could not take such an offer from you.
Silver tongue. Molly thinks, with a hand to her chest where her heart no longer beats. It's only fair. Please, let me not keep you any longer. Feel free. Leave with my blessing. You are protected under hospitality.
Many thanks, Miss McClue.
Gwen gets up, hands her a small parcel in a wrapped package. Molly immediately opens it up, and you see it's a leather-bound journal. It is used with something written in it, but Molly does not even look at the contents before smiling and pocketing it away. Gwen says, "A small gift for your to thank you for your hospitality." And the two of you leave as fast as you possibly can as you drag Brad towards the doorway. Finally back in the regular mortal world where everything is nice and warm and not scary. Well, less scary.
Yeah.
We're going to take a pause again, and we're going to go back to the story with the fight. Okay. So, you've lit a fire. You've decimated a swamp. Well, not decimated. Decimated would imply a lot less damage. You have ruined a swamp entirely. And now you've set a fire there, and you're heading back to town. And you call 911?
Yeah, the second I get cell service.
You do not have self-service because your phone died. There was a magical explosion of some kind.
All right, so the second I get back, find a payphone, chink. Doot, doot, doot.
You don't have to actually spend money on a payphone for 911 calls.
No,
It's a nice little feature.
I've never had to call 911 from a payphone before, so
Well, now
Yep,
you know.
that is-
If you
Now I
happen
know.
to come across a payphone,
If you're ever in the past, just keep it in mind.
we are again earning that educational tag. I'm
Once
telling
again,
you, we
educational screen.
need to tag this educational.
We'll see what that looks for us. The educational stream lives on. As you call 911, the phone dies out on you.
Try it again.
You are too hypercharged with emotions, having just got out of a fight, to keep them in line enough to keep a simple payphone from working. You may need to go someplace in person.
All right, I'm gonna use my local knowledge to try and figure out, try and remember where the nearest fire station is.
You think of the one that's only a couple blocks over and start sprinting, taking you only a few minutes to get over there. But of course, in fire time, that's an eternity. You get yourself to the fire station, run into the room. A quick conversation later, you are being kept in a holding area with a junior fireman, and the rest of the fire people are rushing to the swamp as fast as they possibly can to put out what is now a raging bonfire. Well,
A quick
bonfire
conversation.
feels more controlled.
I literally ran in. I said, "The swamp's on fire."
Yes, that's a very quick conversation.
Yeah.
But yeah, you are now waiting with another fire person who's giving you a very weird look. So how'd you say this fire started?
Can I get some water? I just sprinted like 5 blocks.
Sure. He goes into the fridge, gets you a glass of water, and pushes it over towards you. Now, how did you say this fire started?
I was in the swamp looking at the damage from whatever it is that caused it to dry up, trying to figure it out, see if I could. I know a few things that, but anyway.
You know a few things.
There was a spark.
About solar flares?
Well, yes, I've been going to school for a while.
How do you reverse the solar flare then?
I'm not thinking about reversing the solar flare.
I apologize. I'm interrupting your story. How exactly did the fire start again?
There was a spark. There was a spark, and then one of the dried trees caught fire.
Spark of what? I get it.
between me and Molly.
That's a true fact.
Yeah.
Good old Molly.
You wouldn't believe me if I told you.
Try me.
All right, it's the reason why I couldn't reach you. Yeah, my phone sparked. It's been finicky for a while now, and obviously it's not working now. See?
Yeah, it looks like it. Go ahead and roll me a deceit.
I was trying to get around it without just bold-faced lying, but
Whenever you do that, I'm gonna ask for a deceit check anyway.
Mm-hmm.
That's the rules of this version of the game.
2.
All right, a 2. Let's go see if he is perceptive enough to look past it. Tie goes to the player. He gives you a long look, but eventually nods his head. Phones can be finicky. You gotta leave it turned off when they're not in use. At that point, he leans back and just continues staring at you, unsure what to do. It takes about 15 minutes before the first fire people come back. The rest of the crew is still in the woods, currently right now, trying to contain the damage. What we're going to do is we're going to have to go over your story again. Do you mind coming down with us?
Coming down?
You're you're like upstairs in a room. They're gonna
Okay.
bring you down someplace where they can have a better conversation with you.
Okay. Sure, I guess.
The two firemen, both of them like big, tall people who have been in the fire service. That's not real. The department for years.
Yes.
That's right. Been in the department for years. So these guys are the older ones who are actually needing to get out of the smoke and fire quicker, just due to the fact that it's smarter to keep your best people alive rather than have them fight forest fires for no good reason. And they're going to go over your story again. This takes, some time. You're finally released after several hours. The news is that Romain LeBeau, the good necromancer of New Orleans, while in the swamp, had an accident with his phone that caused a spark that launched a fire.
Does this actually get reported in the news?
It does get reported in the news. This is the news report you're listening to on your way home. It's not a crime to have an accident. It's cool. No one's arresting you. They went over your story. It held up tight. You were good. But, when the news finally reports it, they just want to make sure they have the accurate facts. So they let everyone know that it was Romain LeBeau, the good necromancer of New Orleans, famous for his philanthropy around the area, is the cause for the fire of the swamp. Immediately after what people are calling either the blight, the solar flare, any number of things. The population's actually pretty divided.
They couldn't have kept it anonymous?
They would have, but it was such a good like public interest piece. Like they can't ignore any piece you do now. You're the good necromancer of New Orleans.
I mean, it is my trouble aspect.
You're
now,
a
so
local
I can imagine.
celebrity.
Yeah.
You're a local celebrity. Yeah, you can't get away with it.
All right.
Another thing that is being reported on is different people are calling the effects of the swamps different things. Some people are calling it the blight, believing it has to do with the necromantic origins of New Orleans itself. All of these ideas about the dark magic from the past, and of course, it's been explained that that's not dark magic. Of course, this is a different type of magic system, and people just do not understand it. You change over to Fox News and you hear an entire different thing. This is, of course, a holy blight on the land. God has decided that we have done something wrong and need to be punished, and so he has dried up our swamps. Scientists have all called it a solar flare, but there is a large contingency of scientists who said that there is no evidence of solar flares here, and there is no good reason to call it a solar flare. There are more scientists that are telling you to not listen to those crazy jackpots. This is a solar flare. It's the only thing it could have been. There was an EMP type event. And there was a huge drying up of the area of the swamp. It makes perfect sense for it to be a solar flare. Do not listen to all these doomsayers. And then, of course, you have the doomsayers who believe it's the end of the world. Proper. And who's the most correct? We can never know.
I mean, it sounds like, from the way the story's going, everyone except for the people who are on the science side is correct.
No, as is usual.
Actually, even they're correct too, because it was in fact a solar flare. It was a sun spell.
That's a good point. It is in fact a solar flare. Everyone's correct, and they're all wrong.
Yes,
so you're going to go ahead and face
the elephant.
The wise man and the elephant.
Is that a Nazi story for this week?
It would have been, but I mean, there was no one here to forebodingly try to warn them about their terrible decisions. So we'll leave the heavy-handed stuff away from it. You also are going to have to deal with this. People are going to start asking you what's going on. You are now going to receive a little bit more fame in the area. The good necromancer of New Orleans is pretty much a household name in the city.
Sounds like next time we get a moderate, I'm upgrading my contacts.
Well, we can only hope.
Like. Okay.
All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and give you a pause until your mentor, or your soon-to-be ex-mentor, since you're going to have a new one soon. Right?
Who says I can't have both?
Who knows? I don't know. Either way, until your mentor gets back, we'll go ahead and give your story a pause. We have one last thing to do on the side with Brad.
All right.
Okay, the two of you are finally you're relieved, back in the world of the living, or whatever the opposite of the Nevernever is, and back where you can understand how time works. If you were to have looked at a clock on your way out, you would have noticed that you've only been gone for like 3 minutes.
Okay.
And for your reference, most of that time was actually the time you spent in the Banshee's place, because any of the time you spent by the tree was like a quarter of a second.
Yeah.
All right. So we got him out. The thing we got to do is wake him up, right?
As far as I know, aside from waiting it out, do you have any clues? I can try to set up some wards around him, see if that breaks any connect. Well, first off, let's try simple circle.
Okay. The two you get start set it up. The thaumaturgist of the group goes ahead and starts to draw the circle with a little deliberation. Do you mind charging it? It'll have more resonance with you.
That's fine. I can do that.
The circle powers up with a little bit of energy expended from Dev, lighting up in a way that Dev is familiar with. Every single time he's made circles, a small light is shown up from the ground when it happens, showing a very obvious and clear barrier. Gwen gives you, again, another inquisitive look. How did you do that? I said a simple circle.
Well, I mean, that's about as simple as I can do. Is there...
You... Okay, sure. Once again, she just has a look on her face that is like, who is this guy? She explains very briefly, well, this is a well-made circle. This has the fortifications that you'd see inside of a foundation. Not a foundation, but what's that thing? Barrier for the home against spirits.
Threshold.
This has the power you'd see inside of a threshold. I'm astounded, to be quite clear. Inside of the circle, inside of the circle, you don't see anything happening, but you have ruled out the idea that simply cutting him off would do the trick.
All right. Well, next up, let's try something a little bit heavier duty. I picked this one up. Oh, what was that? I think it was the School of Chemistry building that they were trying to get into and out of. Anyhow, I'm going to go with like proper ward ritual.
Okay, go ahead. We're gonna have you just push the spell out, see how much power goes into it, and we'll just see what happens.
All right, and that's conviction.
Yes.
Or I don't actually know my ritual rolls.
Yeah.
So that's 5.
That's a 5, and see if you can control with discipline.
That's also a 5.
Let's go.
A perfect shot.
A little bit of luck there.
The spell...
I got a credit Gwen for that.
Nice. That's how it works. The spell activates, changing your circle into a different color. What color would Dev associate with healing? No, not healing, warding. Abjuration.
Warding. I don't know. It's probably like almost like a cement gray.
Cement gray?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just.
Inside of the light walls of the circle that you built, which is of course way more powerful than any circle that we saw from Tyler. You see an insignia get formed, something that reminds Dev of strength and protection is the family crest. Gets etched into the side of the circle in that concrete gray color, letting him know, of course, that he's got his abjuration ward up.
Yep.
With that, you do start to see the effects of the spell start to be being worn away.
Okay.
Gwen is actually using her third eye. You can see her. You can see her staring at him while holding her own temples like this, trying to keep the thoughts from going crazy. Who knows what exactly she's doing? She says that it's working. We need to have more power.
Okay. It's not something that I really suffer from. I assume.
Yep. Thankfully, no scary monsters are fighting you, so you get to do this.
Yep.
These rolls, super easy. Let's do another discipline roll. All right, you are 2 under. The effects are continuing to wear away. You start to see his eyes start to flutter open, but in the end, he remains inert. Maybe one more try.
Yep. I will keep that power coming.
And one more discipline. All right, you're now in debt by 4.
Yep.
Brad his lungs begin to catch again. He is more in control of his breath. Rather than the automatic breathing of an unconscious person, you see the breathing of a person who is scared, struggling, and now trying to figure out where they are. Unable to move, like he's affected by sleep paralysis. It seems one small piece lingers on, holding him back. If you might have to try one more time.
Yep. I'll throw one more conviction at it. Only another 3. I like not normally stuff
3s and 5s.
but I like seeing that.
Yes. Woohoo! All right, so
I do still owe 2. I owe 2, but I am going to tag my friend's shield with a fate point to up this last discipline roll.
Is that your last one?
I've got one more fate point, I believe.
I
start with
rocking the fate points.
Yeah, I didn't think that these spellcasters keep so much on there.
I've got 2 more.
Oh, 2 more. Okay, cool.
Well, because all I have are channeling and ritual.
Yeah, that's true.
So low point costs, basically nothing else.
It does leave you a lot of fate points free.
Yeah.
All right. You actually wake him up without any backlash or fallout. Brad wakes up, coughing and sputtering. He looks at you. Dev?
One and the same, brother.
Oh my god! He gets up, walks right past the circle, like it shuts down entirely behind him, and he just goes up and hugs you with a big giant hug.
Yeah.
Where
Absolutely
have you been? You look like a day older.
Where have you been? Okay, so you've been gone for a year. Just a year.
A year?
A year.
No, I have been gone so much longer than a year. I spent a year wandering in that. I spent a year wandering around Fairy. That place was insane. And then I got caught up by that tree.
What tree? Anyway, doesn't matter. You're back now, and that's the important thing.
Well, did you find the others?
No, I didn't see them.
I can't blame you. I can't blame you. The rest of the firebugs. We all had to escape to the Nevernever. The building was coming down around us after we fought that crazy guy with the webs. The building was coming down around us, and the only thing we knew how to do. The building came out. The only thing we knew how to do was to get out of town. Well, by the Nevernever. It was our last ditch effort. I mean, you knew the plan. Well, you didn't know the plan, but you knew our way out. Yeah, you used to cover this kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. Hold the door, get us out of here. Anyway, hey, Timmy, remind me of one of the other names of the firebugs. And you threw out a ton of them before, like Janet.
Yeah, Janet is one. Yeah. Actually, that's the one he was dating. So
there you go. Janet was the one that was covering the spells. She was the one that learned how to do the World Walker spell, get us in and out of the Nevernever. But unfortunately, she got hit at the last minute. I don't know if she died. I don't know if she fell underneath the building. I don't know if she got out. I don't know if she died in the Nevernever. But for some reason, we all went to different places. every single one of us, and I searched as long as I could to get everyone else, but I didn't see another human soul for years. First human people I ever saw, I got, you know? It's bad stuff.
I got.
Well, we definitely have a lot of catching up to do. But we might be able to find the others the same way we found you, just through a tracking spell. We used a tracking spell here to confirm that you were still alive, and then once we got into the Nevernever, we managed to find our way to you. Oh,
wow, really?
Way, Gwen, this is Brad. Brad, Gwen.
Oh, hey, Gwen. Hey, Brad. She gives you a weird look, like don't introduce me to people. Seems weird.
Just give her a look like I met your aunt. Just like
she gives you a look back. Fine, I get it. Okay, I feel you.
You
Brad said. Fact. Brad says. So you can do all that with the divination magic. I mean, we all kind of said it was kind of a waste of time. That's why we all learned, the fires, fireball, and open the world to the Nevernever, that kind of stuff. It's really that effective?
Woke you up, didn't it?
Can't say I disagree. You're right. Man, I'm just so glad. So glad to see you, but
yeah,
we got a lot of work ahead of us, apparently.
Yeah, we got quite a few folks to find. But first things first, we're going to get you on a plane, get you to go see your dad. He's been worried sick. I was in Atlanta not too long ago when I saw him. And
so at some point in time, you kind of expect everything to go poorly when you get out. At some point, you think, you're like, well, for a long while, like, you're going to get out. Everything's going to be fine. You're going to go back to your regular life. And time keeps on going by. And you start realizing that things may not be the same, even if you do get back. I was worried he'd be dead or gone, or he wouldn't even recognize me.
I'd say he may not with that beard, but...
Right. Good point. Yeah. I'll probably shave before I go. You guys got a bathroom?
Hey, don't worry about it. Oh, I'm still in the same place. Well, I mean, it's been 10 for you. It's been 1 for me.
All right, okay.
Still in the house. So, got a couple of new roommates. You'll meet them. And I'm mostly doing this because one of them does this.
All right.
Yeah, we'll have to talk about that. Don't worry about it.
Sounds great. I gotta thank you so much. He turns to Gwen. However you helped, thanks. Gwen says, you owe me one. And then she goes back downstairs and gives you a moment to recollect with Brad and get him ready to leave towards your house, showered up, on a plane, back to visit his father for the first time in a while. All right. And with 30 minutes left of the session, let's do our post-game stuff. Let's see who Romain wants to talk to first.
I definitely...
Romain, man, why does the house smell like smoke?
You probably would have ran into me leaving Magic Inc. as I'm coming in.
Oh, okay.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Oh, hey, Romain, how's it going? Brad, this is Romain. He's one of the new housemates I was telling you about. Romain, this is Brad. Yeah, that's right.
Hey.
Hold on a second. You look... You're one of them firebugs. This was him?
Yes, I told you.
Yeah.
Good to have you back, man.
He wouldn't recognize you.
Well, he wouldn't recognize me, but I would recognize him because I did stop. Me and Victor did stop one of his rituals in our pre-game.
He could recognize you.
Yeah.
He could recognize me.
He very much could recognize me. Give me
a luck roll.
It's been a lot longer time for him, but...
Yeah, give me a luck roll, because it has been 10 years for him, yeah. 1? It's positive. He does not recognize you.
Yeah.
Romain? Hey, good to see you.
I will say that's
yeah,
a beautiful, beautiful beard you've grown. You would look great with a tattoo.
You think?
Yeah.
I mean, he's
My
already
dad
got
always
like
said I
3.
shouldn't get one. Well, I mean, those are arcane tattoos. I mean, like a real one, a good one.
Yeah. Hey, and you know, if you want arcane tattoos, I can help you with that one as well. With those as well.
What? Really? Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's in the know. He's
All
actually the one
right.
who did the first tracking spell to confirm you were alive.
Well, thank you too, then.
Hey, man.
It seems I gotta be thanking everybody around here.
Yeah.
Oh,
Either way.
just a heads up, Dev.
What's up, mate?
There may or may not have been a fire in the swamp, and also Boney Tony's still alive.
Who's
Unalive.
Boney Tony?
I know there was a fire in the swamp. That happened last week.
No, there's definitely one tonight.
Wait, who's Boney Tony?
I'll explain later.
Okay.
Not a fun dude. Kind of fun dude, but not a fun dude.
He can totally jam out. You know, if he weren't so scary, I would jam to his music all night long.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds great.
But yeah, I guess you're here to see Gwen.
Yeah.
I see. Well, just warning you, she might be a little bit tired. But I'm
Wait
gonna
a second.
And
What are you doing coming out of here? Did she help you find him?
Yes. That's why Brad was saying he had to thank everybody. You're not the first one.
Fair. I take it you're taking him to the house?
Yeah, I'm gonna take him to the house. Do you know if Austin's there?
Would we know if Austin is there?
If you haven't been home, you wouldn't know, but he is not there.
Yeah,
I don't know. I haven't heard from him in about a day.
I see. I haven't heard anything either. So either yes and he's sleeping, or no and he's in trouble. Great. But yeah, have fun with Gwen. I'm gonna go call Hank.
Okay. Let's go. Let's handle the call with Hank. Let's go. Let's handle the call with Hank real quick.
It's just going to be.
Oh yeah. Just hiring him again. Okay.
Hey, guess what?
That
fire. Round 2. I'll wire you.
You just hear typing, just nonstop typing as he just goes, oh, god damn. My phone fell on the screen. So everyone who's looking at the Dice channel right now, my phone fell on the screen and typed out lol. So that was not me being really like laughing at the dice roll. That was my phone. I promise.
We all know you were laughing your ass off. You were lamowing.
That one. Haha. You got a +1 on a roll. Crazy. All right. So I guess we'll go ahead and fade to black with Dev. And well, no, we should actually go a little bit further, get you to the house. When you get to the house, you notice that Austin is not there. However, you'd regularly tell, because I don't think Austin makes his bed or anything. So it's not like you can tell just by that. But all of his like cool stuff, his like awkwardly named guns are gone.
All his mall ninja shit.
His weird, inappropriate outfits that no one actually needs, but he uses for all of his bounty hunting stuff. Those are all gone too. It seems he's gone, but also left prepared for a fight, if need be.
Alrighty. Yeah. So you know that web guy, Brad?
You mean the guy from the attack?
Yeah. That one. So his name is Austin, and he lives here.
What the hell? What do you mean he lives here?
Well,
he ruined everything.
Okay, you bloody fucker. Those goddamn Sons of Muspel ruined everything. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
The Sons of Muscle didn't ruin anything. They helped me. I was nobody. I was just some guy in college with $1 million to my name. A nobody. Now I'm magic. I can shoot fire from my hands. Come on.
You were magic before then.
I didn't know how to use it. The Sons of Muscle were the ones that gave it to me. They taught me how to do it.
Clearly, I've learned how to do it without shacking up with fire giants.
Yeah, just hot redheads. Neat. I wish I could have that option, but I only had fire giants around.
The learning magic had nothing to do with her. That's a benefit, not a cause.
Look, man, all I'm saying is that you got the Sons of Muspel all wrong. You always had them wrong. You never trusted them. And in the end, who was it that got us in trouble? Spider-Boy.
They were trying to end the world.
No.
Ragnarok,
go
end
ahead.
the world.
Go ahead and roll me a rapport check.
Yep. That's a 3.
Okay, +3. Good. Give him a flat roll because I don't expect him to be. Yeah, okay, good. No, the end of the world. We talked about Ragnarok, but it was like a code name, you know? It was for the final motion.
Yeah, the final motion. Think about that for a second, man.
A look of shock comes over his face as it just finally dawns on him. Just like all at once, like a rock to the head. Just
like a Ragnarok to the head?
Like a Ragnarok to the head. Yeah. Oh, my. Oh, God. I mean, so what happened in the end to the Suns?
I don't know in detail. Just a bit of what I heard from Austin and Romain. But I'm pretty sure that one fire giant that you guys were talking about all the time, about how...
Oh, Svengar.
Yes. I'm pretty sure one of their friends, really big dude, like, kind of scary, they were talking about.
Oh, I remember him.
Yeah, apparently he, like, also turned into a giant and killed Svengard.
What?
Yeah,
Okay, this is too much for me. I'm gonna take a shower, I'm gonna shave, and then I'm gonna go home and see my dad. We'll talk about this again.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I guess thanks for everything, man.
Of course.
I owe you one.
No, you don't.
Oh, friendship. Okay, so we're gonna fade to black on that cutscene, and we're gonna go back to Tyler's conversation with one of his many benefactors.
I was making knocking sounds. I don't know if you heard it.
I couldn't hear it. No, sorry, it did not work out. Dev, is that you? Need something else?
No, it's...
Oh,
Romain.
God. She opened up the door, leaving the chain on so you can't, so no one can actually get in or out without closing it back up, giving her the option to always turn you away.
What do you mean, oh God?
It's you. I never have a nice time whenever you come up and say you need help. Whenever you knock on my door, always is a problem.
What about that? What about that time when I told you about the swamp? We had a good time then.
You mean the time you told me that you ruined the swamp? Yeah.
Yeah.
A bad time.
Seemed like a good time to me.
Now?
We had a great night just chugging drinks and telling stories.
Okay, are you about to tell me that everything's perfect and there's no problems?
No.
That's what I fucking thought.
I need some advice.
Well, you know me, bastion of good advice.
Well, I can either go to you or go to the pricks in the council. Who want
it's
me
magic. Okay,
dead.
yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just going to come out and say it. I was approached by the embodiment of death.
Him?
He wants to hire me.
He wants to hire you? To do what? What jobs does death need done?
rid the world of undead.
Wouldn't he like the undead? I mean, he's death, right?
I thought the same thing. Apparently, they're really at odds with each other. So something about
Okay.
it not being the natural course of life and death.
Huh. I guess that makes some kind of sense.
Yeah.
Either way. So what's the job? I guess what's the downside of the job?
He
I'm
wants you
assuming he's not
to
going to pay you.
learn. What did he call it? Animancy?
Never heard of it. That sounds weird.
Yeah. But it's like some sort of offshoot of necromancy is the problem.
Well, have you had a chance to Alta Vista the Latin roots of the word?
No?
Give that a go first. I mean, it's magic. It's all based off of that language stuff. See what he's talking about first.
I guess so. You wouldn't happen to have a Latin dictionary in there, would you?
Left check? No, I'm joking. She has one. Yeah, I got one. She closes the door and opens it back up and lets you in.
All right.
You smell a lot of smells in the apartment, most notably just the overwhelming scent of death, which you're familiar with, being a necromancer. Decay, rot, death, all that good stuff. It also smelled like an open graveyard, just
Why does it smell like
inside the
something
apartment.
died in here?
Well, it shouldn't, because something didn't die in here. It lived.
Oh, is this where Brad was it? Was it Brad? This is me not remembering.
Yes.
Yeah, it's Brad. Yeah, Brad. I guess. I didn't catch his name.
Wait. You've got a portal to the Nevernever in your room?
Not my room. It's in the attic.
No. That makes so much more sense.
I'm not too concerned. I know the person on the other side. So, we're on good terms.
Oh. Okay. Where's this dictionary?
Oh, right. She goes over to her bookshelf and grabs one of the many language to English dictionaries that she has. And she hands you the book. It might be beneficial to grab yourself a few of these books. Most spellcasters use languages they don't speak, and since you probably also don't speak those languages, it might be beneficial to figure out what they might be saying every so often.
That's fair. I don't really use language in my spells, so I don't really...
Looking over her bookshelf, you see Egyptian to English for dummies. You see translating Chinese to English for dummies. Just a whole bunch of other languages that are not exactly dead, but do have dead variants. Long ago, fell out of use.
You know, Gwen, I never considered you a dummy.
Well, because you're not looking hard enough. She hands you the book.
I open it up, go to the A's.
Animancy. Animancy, your best guess for what the root word for that would be animus. That word translates roughly to the idea of a soul. It is literally the spark that keeps things alive and moving. If you're not a big fan of the soul.
Spark of life or movement. Wait. Is this controlling of souls? Is that what animancy is?
Are you asking Gwen or me?
This is in character. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. You're the one who talked to Death himself.
I don't know.
So what? Are you gonna do it?
Should I? I know the council's not going to like it. They're
Well,
already
fuck the
gunning for
council.
my head anyway.
Well, fuck the council. Let's stop with that. Like, they aren't the kings of magic, okay? They're just the most powerful group of people on the earth right now to do it. That means nothing.
You're
what do you
not
want to do?
wrong, but I gotta think about it. It's
Come on, you can control the souls of man, and you think Sean's going to give you a problem? My great, 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 great nephew?
Well, he's a ginger now.
He is.
You know what? I'm gonna answer that. I'm gonna answer with that one. Well, he's a ginger, right?
Yeah, he is. But I guarantee you, he's got a soul.
I'll sleep on it. This is not something I should just make a snap decision about. I mean, this is the death we're talking about.
The death. Yeah, I mean, but other side, it'd be really nice to have him on your side, and you don't want to piss him off.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Something to think about.
Thanks,
Either
Glenn.
way, I got
Oh, your bottle.
what?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. You've helped me out so much. You know, even past our original agreement. I feel like I owe you something, Gwen.
No, it's okay. I don't want anything extra. And another thing, I'm gonna have to cut ties with you.
Why?
Well, I won't be too much about it, but my nephew is a wizard cop, and you are becoming famous as a necromancer. And now, she points to a TV that's across the street instead of another window that's playing with captions on. I noticed that you are getting more and more dangerous, and it's reflecting poorly on my business.
That
I can't have you as a tattoo artist anymore.
you're firing me.
Yeah. I won't protest if you file for unemployment. I don't want to fill out those forms anyway.
How am I gonna make a living, Gwen?
I don't know. You're a professional necromancer now. Figure it out. It's New Orleans. Most people have a day job to deal with the superhearing thing because the superhearing doesn't pay. Figure it out, dude.
Yeah, this was my day job. Being a
Yeah, I
tattoo
don't think
artist.
you need one anymore.
What do you mean I don't need one anymore? I haven't been able to make money off of it. I got paid once.
All right, well, charge a second time then.
And I didn't even want to do it that time. I did it because it was the right thing to do. And he happened to pay me.
Look, I'm telling you, I do not want more reporters roaming my freaking shop repeatedly every single time you decide to do something. You're a vigilante. You're a superhero. I get it, but that's the thing. I can't have you in my shop all the time. There's stuff in there I don't want people seeing. And if I have a bunch of mortal reporters roaming around all the time, they're going to see something they're not supposed to. And what am I supposed to do then? Wipe their memories? I can't do that. Easy.
You know, you make a good point, Gwen. I'm sorry you feel that way.
Look, you're welcome to come back. We can always talk as friends in secret after this dies out after a little while, and then we'll be fine. But you can't work here. I'm sorry. She hands you a paycheck that seems to have been written up about an hour ago when she heard the first reporting of the fire. And it is every hour that you've worked up until this very second, plus all your vacation time and everything else. Here's everything you should need. I can't offer severance because, well, I really don't have to. So she hands you the check, and she calmly ushers you out the door. Oh, and about the book, the dictionary, keep it. You're probably going to need it.
Yeah, thanks. I use the check as a bookmark for the Animus page.
She closes the door behind you, locks it with a chain, and you hear two more of the locks turning. One for the actual... What is that thing called? The
Deadbolt.
metal... Deadbolt, that's the one. One for the deadbolt, one for the actual door handle itself. And then you hear loud music being played as a shower turns on.
All right. Romain goes home.
All right. One last interaction with Dev and Brad before we sign off.
Romain walks in. He's kind of stunned. Kind of got a 1,000-yard stare going on. Also smelling rather strongly of wood smoke.
So, who kicked your puppy?
Gwen just fired me. She said I'm becoming too much of a
liability
nuisance.
I can believe it.
What's the word she used?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, so I've already called Hank. Talked to him a little bit about the situation. He's on retainer if you need him. So when the cops come around, I'm not going to say if, I'm going to say when, because you were the one witness to a fire in the same place you were already a witness to a fire.
They said they weren't going to press charges. They said it was an accident. Like,
they always say that. Then it gets shuffled up the way to somebody, and they decide who's that one detective you were telling me about? Robbins. Yeah. See, those folks seem to like to come sniffing around. They just do. It's what they do. Especially if you said Bony Tony was back.
Yes.
So there are going to be deaths around there. Deaths around the place where you've been found with 2 fires.
To be fair,
let it suffice to say, Hank is on retainer.
I did kind of freeze him in place before the fire got started, so he might have burned again. But that might just have made him more angry.
Yeah, that very well could have.
God, today has just been a shit day. I need a drink. He stomps upstairs and he grabs a bottle, just a full bottle from the kitchen, and then stumps upstairs. Shuts the door. Unless you have something else you're saying.
No, just hey, don't go in the 3rd room on the left. That's where Brad is now.
After about half the bottle, Romain will open the locket, and I feel like this is a good place to fade to black.
Yes, it is a good place to fade to black. Amazing. Okay, cool. We're going to go ahead and end the game here. When we get started, we'll see both what has been going on with Austin Cash. For all of our big fans of Austin Cash, as we call them Cash Heads, we will let you know what's been going on with him inside of the realm of the White Court Vampires.
I still like Cashingtons. Next time we'll have a vote on that. We'll have a vote on that in chat.
There we go. Cashingtons. And we'll also see what happens with Lord Death. And of course, whatever's going to go on with Dev and his crazy life. Who knows?
But yeah. Thank you, everyone who's watching and/or listening, for tuning in. All right, we do have a submission, Cash Bandicoots.
That's a solid win.
That's a solid one as well.
Bandicoots?
Yeah, that's it. That's got to be it. But
that's our one.
Thank you guys so much for swinging by. We really appreciate it. If you haven't yet followed, please do give us a follow. It costs you nothing and helps our numbers, which helping our numbers helps us put more value and more production into this. Hoping to get some character art for the characters to add onto our layout soon. So help your mind's eye out a little bit with pictures of the various characters there. And if you think you have followed, please confirm that you followed. I know I've talked to some people before who are like, yeah, I've followed. And then they look and they haven't. They thought they either thought they had, thought I need to do that. Just double check. Really appreciate it. But yeah, thank you so much for all the support we've been getting so far, and we will see you next week.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.